Let's learn how to write if statements. Checking out writing if statements worksheet number 2. Number 1 is a fill in the blank exercise. If num mod 2 equals 0 is the way that you detect even numbers in Visual Basic. When you take a number such as 14 and divide it by 2, the remainder is 0 if that original number 14 here was even, and it is. So that's how we test for even numbers. In this case, you're supposed to message box.show the word true, and I'm abbreviating to save time. So there's your answer for number 1. Number 2, similar, although different, we're looking for odd numbers. So if num mod 2 again equals 1 is the way that you test for odd numbers. And the rest of this you can fill in on your own. Number 3, to test if a number is evenly divisible by 3. Well, it's very similar to testing a number if it's evenly divisible by 2, which is all an even number is, evenly divisible by 2 numbers. So number 3 is just like number 1. If num mod 3 equals 0 instead of if num mod 2 equals 0. And the rest of this is straightforward. Number 4, being a multiple of 3 is the same thing as being evenly divisible by 3. So number 4 is the same as number 3. Number 5, a little trickier. To be a factor of 24. Well, let's check out 24. 24, it's the same thing as 4 times 6. Break this down as a factor tree. And all these numbers are factors of 24, along with the number 8, by the way, and the number 12. So all those numbers are factors of 24. How can we determine with a single if statement if the variable num is one of these numbers or not? Pretty easily. If, instead of starting out with the word num, this time we start out with 24 and we mod it by num. If that is equal to 0, that means we get no remainder when we're dividing a number such as num, say 4, into 24. There's no remainder. Therefore, this is true, and we would then message box.show true. So there's your answer for number 5. Number 6, it's even more complicated, but it's really what we've already done on previous exercises put together. We have the word and here, so it's likely that we'll need the word and somewhere in this control expression. Well, the first part of the and is being a multiple of 3. That's just the same as the answer to number 4, which was the same as the answer to number 3. If num mod 3 equals 0. So that part's easy. If num mod 3 equals 0. And it is not a multiple of 24. Well, here's the code to detect if it is a multiple of 24. Oh no, that's not quite the same. Being a multiple of 24 means that it's not the number 48 or 76 or a number like that. What are the multiples of 24? 48, 72, 96, and so on. So we want to make sure that the number num is not a multiple of 24. We want to make sure it's not one of these numbers. I guess we have to take the number num and mod it by 24 and make sure that that is not 0. There. That is checking to make sure that num is not a multiple of 24. That's the opposite and quite different from number 5 here, where we were looking for factors, where we had 24 before the word mod. Here we have the number 24 after the word mod. And number 7, I'm leaving it as an exercise for you. No, actually I'll do it. Follow along. Here we have a case where we need an if statement that checks to see if our triangle with measurements side 1, side 2, and side 3 is equilateral or not. So if side 1 equals side 2 and side 2 equals side 3, and side 1 equals side 3, that would be one way to do it. But this part right here is optional. You don't really need that to be there because of the transitive property. You know that side 1 is equal to side 3 if they're both equal to the same thing, side 2. But if you feel like writing out this extra code, be my guest. It'll make your code perhaps easier to understand by other people and coworkers. Messagebox.show equilateral. And now we move on to our else if that detects isosceles triangles. Well, side 1 would be equal to side 2 perhaps, or side 2 equals side 3, or, don't forget this one, side 1 equals side 3. That should handle determining whether we have an isosceles triangle or not. And the else is messagebox.show scalene triangles. Don't forget your end if, and have a great day.